What is up, guys? You're listening to the MFCEO Project. I'm Andy. I'm your host, and I am the motherfucking CEO. As always, I'm joined by my co-host. But before I intro him, we have got an amazing show for you guys. Amazing show. We've got two special guests, and one of them is really special. Like, he wears a helmet and rides on the short bus, okay? The other one happens to be the best performance coach in the world. This is a man who specializes in mental toughness. He has been the performance coach and trainer of names like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwyane Wade, the best of the best of the best. And I'm going to intro him in just a minute right after I get to introing DJ God. What is up, my dude?
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. What's up, man?
Still got to connect with Nelly, you know, to make that happen, make that collab happen.
Yeah, I'm sure he's super pumped.
I'm sure he is. You know, we've talked about this before. And in fact, because of the other special guest that's here, we ought to remind our listening audience that you guys questioned my knowledge of rap lyrics. And then when I was...
You didn't know who Biggie fucking Smalls was.
Yeah, but when I was put to the test, I belted out some classic lines.
You did?
I did.
Oh, to who?
To you guys. You remember this, Sal, right?
Listen, I do have to say I was quite impressed with your ability to spit the lyrics, but the fact that you don't know who Biggie Smalls is really
cancels it out.
It's like, you know, doesn't work.
It's not that I didn't know who he was. It's that painting in Andy's office is kind of impressionistic.
Which
so
means you don't know who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't see that painting, this should be the shot for the podcast, like just the picture.
No, we need
of
to
Biggie.
put the picture and like, should you know who this
yes.
is? Yes or no?
No, just pull it.
I'm gonna
pull it on
post
Instagram.
On my story today. All right, we have
the only vote no is going to be him.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, guys, we have an awesome show for you guys. I am super excited. I've been wanting to get this show together for a long time. My good friend Tim Grover is here. What's up, man?
Andy, I'm doing great. How about yourself, man?
I'm good, man.
Thank you for having me here. You look, before we go any farther, you look unfucking believable, man.
Thanks, man.
You
you see me naked.
It's less than a year. It's been less than a year since I saw you last over at an event at 10X that we did together.
Yeah.
And the transformation that you've made, it's...
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
You've been putting in the work.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And along the way, people don't know this, but you've been encouraging me along the way. And I think it's your nature to push people. And, dude, I just want you to know that meant a lot to me along the way.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, in order to get a compliment from me, you got to do some unordinary or some unexpected stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Losing 10 pounds ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. I just asked you before we started this thing. I said, hey, how much weight have you lost? You lost 100 fucking pounds. That's a lot of weight. All right. That's a lot of weight to lose. And to be able to do it and continue to do the podcast, run the business, do whatever you're doing. So when people talk about, I can't do it because I'm too busy, well, just look at what you've accomplished. So that excuse gets thrown right out the fucking window.
Well, dude, you know, this is funny because when I started the transformation in 2016, January 4th, 2016 was my first day. I was 350 pounds, roughly. I read your book starting on that day. I never even told you this, but I read that book starting on that day so I could get because I had read it before, and I read it because I wanted to get my mental focus in the right spot because I knew I had my work cut out for me. Yeah. So you had a lot more to do with this than what you actually know. And like I told you when I met you in person at 10X, bro, you've changed my life. Many, many, many good things have come from the mentality that you communicate in that book. And I think the biggest part of it that I enjoyed was it made me feel like I'm sure you've heard this from many people, but it made me feel like I wasn't fucking crazy. Like I felt crazy for a long time. Like the way I thought was weird or wrong or different. And reading that book was like a light went off where it's like, dude, I'm not the fucking crazy one. I'm the one who's not crazy. Everybody else is fucking crazy.
No, you know what? Hey, you're absolutely right. Because listen, everything that's happened extraordinary in a person's life or in this universe or whatever it is, it's been done by somebody who's been a little bit off.
Right.
Okay? Not the person that's always tried to fit in or try to be like everybody else. So what the book Relentless did was it showed that, hey, there's more of us out there than you know, and it gave us permission to say, hey, it's okay to be like this. because I got accepted, and it's the way to push myself to greatness, because you spend so much of your time, before that, you're spending so much of your time trying to suppress yourself and say, listen, is it really me? Am I the one that's like crazy? Am I the one that's off? When you realize, no, you know what? I am who I am in order to get what I want. That's who I have to be. You know, we always say this, listen, you have to know exactly who you are.
Dude, the thing that resonates with me about that too, though, and I think we have a huge audience they're all success-driven people, a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of people who are in a business, but they're just trying to progress through the ranks so they can earn more money. One of the biggest things that resonated with me was when I was trying to grow a business, everybody around me was telling me that I was fucking stupid and that it wasn't going to work and that I was wasting my time, and why do you even care about doing this? And oh, you want to drive a Lamborghini, you're selfish, and this and that. And like, the world just has such massive amounts of negativity that they put on you when you're trying to do anything that's outside the norm. And for that reason, anybody who's trying to do something great, before they really have done it, they're in a situation where they don't believe in themselves, so they're listening to other people, and they might still be moving forward, but they're moving forward with a lot of doubt and a lot of questions and a lot of anxiety about, am I a good person? Am I doing the right thing? Am I immoral because I want these things? Is there something wrong with me the way I think? And that the greatest thing about Relentless, the book, is that it addresses that for people who are in the process. You know what I mean? I didn't read your book until after I was kind of through that process, right, where I had become, quote unquote, somewhat financially successful. I don't consider myself financially successful because my goals are much bigger, but I have made a little money. I've done a little things. I started to believe in myself. That book, for you guys who are in the journey, if you haven't read Relentless, you have to read it, because it's really good at helping you feel good about the journey you're on and not feel like you're doing something wrong, or you should be listening to your mom and dad, or you should be listening to your average friends. This book is like the ultimate tool to help you with that, with confidence in that area, You
can't let individuals set shop in your head. Most people can't relate to what you're thinking of and what your dreams are and so forth. So what we say is, listen, don't worry about if somebody else doesn't believe in your dreams. They're your fucking dreams. You make them happen. All right. People that won't push you or don't believe in themselves are not going to believe in you. But you can't rely on everybody else to make shit happen for you. You got to make it. You got to make it happen for you first. Most people are afraid of success. They want all the stuff that comes with success, but they don't want to do the work, and they're afraid of it, because now you got to continue to do the work. You got to do more of the work. There's more sacrifice that's going to be necessary. So it's easy to keep people down, because if you're hanging around with a bunch of friends, and all of a sudden you start to become more successful, and you start to make some money, and you start to get the things that you want, and you're able to help other people, what does that do? It creates a distance between you and them. So what their job is to pull you back down.
They got to close that distance.
Yes.
Right.
They want to, and because they're not going to come up to your level, they want you to come back down to theirs.
Right.
And as you become more successful, the gap gets wider and wider and wider. That's why the most successful people in this world, and success can be defined differently. It can be defined for some people, it can be money. Other people, it could be fame. Other people can just being the best at what they do. But whatever it is, it creates that distance between you and those others, and others don't like that. They want to bring you back. That's why the most successful individuals in whatever they do, they have the smallest circles. They have the smallest circle. They can only trust a few people, and most of the people don't understand that.
No, they see it as like an ego thing. Like, oh, you're too good for us now.
No. It
has nothing to do with it.
It has nothing to do with that. You know what the ego part is? And this is what they have to understand. The ego part is on them, because you know what happens? They don't realize that just because you've become successful, that you have the same problems that everybody else still has. All right, you still have family issues, you still have girlfriend issues, boyfriend issues,
and you still have money issues.
You still have money
They're
issues.
Just different.
But we talked about this morning.
Yeah, but this is what happens. Those people have a lot of people they can talk to make them feel good. All right, but when you're successful, or in your mind you think you're successful, you don't have that sympathetic ear because people don't give a fuck about your
That's
problems.
right.
They don't think they don't exist because they like, oh, look how much money he makes, look at the car that he's driving. They don't realize that you can't share what your issues are, what you want to discuss with anybody.
Well, you could share with them, but if you did, they think you were fucking bragging.
Right.
Right? So, like, dude, I've gone through this process, like, personally, my wife and I. Like, we have to be careful who we hang around with because the shit that we talk about, it's like if I was sitting with some of my friends, and like, I still love my old friends. I love them. I'll fucking do anything for them. Sure. But if I'm sitting with them and I'm talking about some of the shit that's on my mind, like you would talk with his friends, they see it as like bragging. And really, I'm like just talking about my fucking life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a hard thing. Like, it's a hard thing for other people to understand. You know what I mean?
It is.
You know, because, dude, even when you get to a level of success, you're still a fucking human, man. You still need to vent. You still need to communicate. You still need to express yourself. And especially me, like, I'm a fucking guy who likes to vent. Like, I'll vent for 5 minutes and then I'll be totally fine.
Right.
I have to, you know, and you find kind of, that's what I try to tell everybody here is, like, you don't lose friends. You just gain new ones that have the same interests as you. You know what I mean?
Listen, when you hang around successful people, watch the conversation change. The conversation changes. All right, successful people, the people that want the best for you, the conversation is completely different than the people that aren't successful. They're the ones that are constantly making excuses, you know, talking about why they can't get somewhere because it's this person's fault. I don't get this opportunity here. I don't get this. I don't get that. It's always somebody else's. It's always somebody else's fault. The people that make it, that do what they're supposed to do, they take the onus on themselves. They like, listen.
It's so funny you say that.
I gotta figure this out. And these days now, especially these days, everybody's looking for a handout. What can you do for me? No, it's not what you can do for me. What the fuck can you do for yourself first? You show me that first, and then I may or may not decide to help you. I'll guide you in the right direction. If there's 10 steps, I'm not doing steps 1 through 9 for you. Okay. You got to do something. You got to do something. You got to show me. You got to be willing to start at the bottom and be able to do shit that nobody else is willing to do. I see you guys post stuff up all the time. You guys run this multi-million-dollar sales supplement business. Yet I see you fucking packing stuff on the shelves, hauling stuff. Sal, you do the same thing. You're constantly moving. You're constantly moving things. You're having to ship. It's funny when people get successful, and you know this is their start of the downfall. What do they say?
I'm not doing that.
I don't do that.
It's not my job.
I don't do that anymore. That's not my job. You know what? That's your job. Plus everything else is your job.
Everything is your fault.
Everything.
Dude, I
is
look at
your
it like
job.
this. Like when somebody doesn't do. Sal, you posted that video of the Texas coach. What's his name?
Augie Garrido.
He's the winningest baseball coach in NCAA history. Okay, and he's yelling at his team, and dude, they obviously shit the bed, right? And he's yelling at the videos on YouTube, right?
Yeah, so you can Google Augie Garrido wildfire speech.
Who that fucking reminds you of yelling? So this dude is just fucking going crazy, and at the end of it, this is the important part. He goes, you know what? I'm sorry. I fucking failed you guys. And he turns around and walks out. And you know, that's how I look at my shit. And I know that's how Sal looks at it too. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, I get pissed at people, but eventually I realize, like, if they're fucking off, it's my fault because I didn't fucking train them right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I didn't hold them accountable the right way.
You didn't put the systems in place to keep that from happening.
And like, dude, this is a great leadership quality. Like, great leaders do this. Like, and I'm not saying I'm a great leader. I have a lot to fucking learn. But the great leaders in history, the great coaches, the great athletes that you coached, I guarantee you at the end of the day when the shit went wrong, they didn't go around and say, oh, you know what, Scottie Pippen, you fucked up the whole game. Or Dennis Rodman, you were fucking hungover and you played like shit. Yeah. They say, you know what? Michael Jordan probably said, you know what, I should have taken more control of the game.
Yes.
They should have taken that shot.
They take
Game 5.
They take the responsibility. They don't want to put it in anybody else's hands. You know, listen, Michael always said at the beginning of the first day of practice, every year they always had a new player. They always had a new player come in and so forth. And Michael would tell the guys, he said, listen, I'm going to pass you the ball one time. You better fucking do something with it. I can miss a shot on my own. I can turn it over on my own. show me I can count on you right now. You know how many careers he destroyed by just saying that because the guys couldn't perform
They
at
fucking
that level.
folded. Yeah.
They folded. But he needed to know that.
Yeah.
He needed to know that because he was like, if this is how you're going to be in practice, you think I'm going to be able to count on you in Game 6 of the finals? Because that's where we're going.
Right.
That's where we're going.
Right.
I need to know now if you can handle the situation. And if you can't, that's fine. If you can't do it, I'll do it myself.
So you're saying it's a big deal that he actually passed that ball up to Steve Kerr? I mean, he obviously thought very highly of Kerr.
Huge that. And, you know, if you see the whole highlight of them setting everything up, Steve, what happened was Steve said, Michael, if they come to you, I'm open. Give me the ball. I'll knock it down. And you know how his whole relationship started with Steve to get into the next level? They got in this huge fight in practice, which is very well known. Steve did not back down from it. Boy, Michael whooped his ass too in practice too. But it was just like
Like they got a fist fight?
Yes.
No shit.
Yes.
Yeah, but I bet you there's a lot of common respect.
But afterwards, Michael even got thrown out of practice during that time. I mean, you can look this up. This is just common. Bing it, Google it, whatever you want to do it. But
Bing.
Yeah. But it's that brought Steve up to a different level in Michael's eyes. So this guy's not going to back down. When I don't need any more friends.
He doesn't have to like him.
Yeah.
He has to trust him. He doesn't have to like him. He has to trust him.
You know what? That's what I'm saying. People look for friends.
Dude, they fucking put way too much emphasis on friends.
You talk about this all.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about this, about the Facebook and all that. I don't need any more friends.
No.
I need allies. I need people I can go to war with. I can trust. I don't want to hang out with you afterwards. But when you guys take this meeting room right here, if you take this meeting room, all right, and you think of it as a football field, a baseball diamond, or everything. When you step between these lines, it's about business. It's about getting shit done.
Dude, just friendship destroys leadership respect. When you're a leader and you're leading a team, okay, and this is how it does. It doesn't mean people perceive that as like you have to be an asshole. That doesn't mean be an asshole.
No.
Okay? Being an asshole is becoming friendly with them and letting them cut every corner because you look at it and say, "Oh, you know what? That's my friend. I'm not going to bust his ass." That's being an asshole.
Yes.
People mistake this. Being a leader has nothing to do with being a friend. It has to do with holding accountable and setting an example, and that's fucking it. So when you look at somebody and you're leading them, let's say you run a retail store or you run a business, and you've got people who report to you, and you're around them 24 hours a day for fucking years at a time. You start to become friends, right? And then the person that you're supposed to look after, they start to cut a corner and they start to do this wrong and they start to do that wrong because they feel that you're a friend and they're losing respect for you as an authority figure. And people miss that point all the time. You are not fucking friends with the people you manage. The way you're their best fucking friend is by holding them accountable to their best self.
100%.
Which is the people that you keep closest in your circle.
No, but Sal, that's the biggest challenge that I've had with teaching other leaders. Like,
it's
young
the biggest
leaders.
challenge I've had to overcome.
Yeah, like guys on our team that lead other people. The biggest problem is because we have a friendly culture. They get too fucking friendly with their guys, and they stop holding them accountable because they're like, "Oh, that's my boy Sal. I'll get him next time." And that's how the fucking shit starts to erode. And then eventually, you're not putting any numbers on the fucking scoreboard, and you're all fucking fired.
You know what? This is what happens. It's funny. People won't accept things. Leaders won't accept things when things aren't going well. Okay. Well, if you don't accept them when things are not going well, why accept them when things are going well?
No, you got to keep the fucking gas down.
Yes, you can't accept that when things are going well.
No, but then what happens, Tim, is like so it's a up and down. It's like a up and down thing, right? Like the things start going well, they start accepting the little things off they like. Oh, okay, you left that floor dirty, or you left this shelf dirty,
exactly,
or you didn't say this to the customer, or this or that. They let those things slide, and then guess what? They're back in the dip again.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas if they would stay on the gas when they're in the high point, they would continue to rise.
The most successful businesses, coaches, and so forth, they hold everybody accountable, whether it's the superstar on the team, it's the last person, it's a person that never gets to play. Businesses do the same thing from their CFO, the CEO, to their interns. everybody is held to the same level of standards, and everyone's held to that
consistently.
Not one day.
Not when things are going bad. All of a sudden, we got to fix the fucking boat.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
too late.
And now,
It's
those guys have already learned that you're going to take their shit.
Yep.
You have to hold them accountable at all times. That's the biggest, hardest lesson for young leaders to learn.
You get what you tolerate.
Yeah.
That's it. As a business and in business, in person, as a life, you get what you tolerate.
I 1,000% agree.
Yeah.
1,000%.
But I think, when and I mean, obviously I agree as well, right? But you talk about the small circle as you grow. You keep that circle small because those are the people that keep you in check. Those are the people who are going to call you on your fucking bullshit.
Well, no, if you're a fucking strong person, you know who the fuck you are, like Tim said, you do respect those people. Like my best friends, the people I keep close to me are the people who will not let me cut a corner. They will not let me fucking slide. They'll say, Andy, you're fucking getting fat. Andy, you're fucking missing workouts. Andy, you fucking being lazy. Because, dude, you know what? I'm a naturally lazy motherfucker. I just am. Like, I try to do the most amount of shit with the least amount of time and effort. I'm like everybody else. The difference is I fucking do the shit.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Okay? But, like, I will not hang out. Like, dude, who do I hang out with? I hang out with you. I hang out with fucking Klein.
Well, I already understand this, right? But
Yeah.
like you talk about, you talk about.
How many times do you and I in a year almost fucking beat the shit out of each other?
I was just gonna say that. I was
Like,
like,
dude, it
I'll call
happens-
Andrew fat.
it
He'll get
happens about-
fucking pissed at me,
Right?
right?
It happens about 3-4 times a year where, dude, we'll fucking, like that door crack right there, that happened because, I mean, dude, you can
'Cause I
ask
was
anybody
right.
in here. No, you weren't fucking right, motherfucker. But, dude, 3-4 times a year, we'll fucking get into each other hard, but it's because we want to fucking win.
Right.
It's not because, like, we're being mean. At the end of the day, we both come away and say, dude, I fucking respect him more because of that.
Listen, feelings, emotions, and BS get in the way.
Yeah.
They do.
They get in the way all the time. All right, and
Dude, people are way too connected to their fucking feelings.
Yes. All right. It's just that's a society. That's a
Right.
society now.
Oh,
You
I
gotta
feel
be
like this. You talk to me like this. You hurt my fucking feelings. So what? It's because
Yeah.
it's fucking true.
It's the
The
truth.
only reason it offended you is because it's fucking true and you know it in your heart.
And people don't want to hear the truth. Or a lot of times, what happens is you guys have quite a few employees. You guys got quite a few employees. All right. Be honest with me. Okay. Be honest with me right now. All right. You can think about at least two people right now in your head that you wish you could fucking fire, that you want to fire.
Oh man.
I'm just saying at least two. I'm
Wait,
just giving
wait,
you a
wait.
little break.
What's
This
honesty
actually-
here? How
no,
honest
this
can I be?
actually- No, this actually I wouldn't say that's true. I would say no, because here's how I look at it. Everybody has potential and everybody has a role, and it's our job as leaders to fulfill them and put them in the right place. We have a great culture here, like a great culture and a great team. And I'm not saying this just because I know they're fucking listening, because I would tell them straight to their fucking face, and I have, and they know this. I truly believe that everybody on our team now, in-house, is a fucking asset.
In-house now. You said in-house.
No,
I'm not
because we have a lot of outside employees that I don't know personally.
Okay.
So that I can't say that, but I know the people in-house. We don't have any fucking duds. We might have some guys that haven't figured it out yet, but everybody here, I believe, can figure it out. Our biggest challenge as a company is definitely what I said a minute ago about our mid-level leaders understanding how to hold people accountable and how important it is to how to reframe what they think is friendly. Like,
You know what you can do easily? Here, this is what happens. Everyone always looks for the perfect time to tell the truth. There is no perfect time to tell. The perfect time to tell the truth is all the time. It's all the time. That's when you tell the truth. People are like, oh, you know what? Oh, they're going through something. This is not a good time. It's the holiday time.
I used to run from that. I would have to. So my dad.
No, dude, I did too. I went through that too, where I would like fucking put off the conversation.
Oh man, and then you want to look at him. It's kind of awkward, and you're like, "Fuck, man! Like maybe I should." Well, this is not the right time. You build this little story in your head, right? So I struggle, and I was telling Tim earlier how the biggest asset that we've had as growing up was our dad. Our dad was he's like, hey, you gotta address the situation. Well, that's fucking hard, man.
It is in the beginning.
It's supposed to be hard.
It's like getting in a fucking cold pool. Like you get in, you get in, it's fucking cold. You get a little more in, it's still cold. You get a little more in, it's like you're in it for half an hour. It's like it ain't fucking cold.
It's supposed to be hard.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand.
But now,
It's hard.
at my point, and I think you're probably getting to this too, because I'm a couple years older than him. I walk through and I see shit that it needs to be fixed, and I'm like, "Hey, that fucking sucks," and then I walk away. Like I don't even think about it for the rest of the day. Like that dude's probably like fucking going home and writing, to his fucking diary about how I hurt his fucking feelings.
I think
the minute after it comes out of my mouth, I fucking move on. Like, I don't even care.
I address this like physically in my head. This is the best way I can relate it. It's like getting in a fight, your first couple fights. Like, you're so fucking nervous. Like, holy shit,
So it's
man.
like getting your ass kicked for you.
It never happened. So we're like, you're like going up and you play all the scenarios out in your head. Okay, all the bad shit, and you figure it all out, and you make an excuse. Maybe I shouldn't hit me. And now it's like I just walk up to the motherfucker, like, hit me. Okay, let's roll. You know what I mean? Let's get this shit on and fucking move.
I'm gonna give you a great I'm gonna give you guys a great example. So people used to say, Floyd Mayweather, whether you like him or not, never studied his opponent. Never studied his opponent. He said, listen, the opponent's got to deal with me. All right, so you never watched the film on anybody else? No. And it was funny. If you talk to the people that he's fought, the ones that have watched the film, and Michael was the same way, and I'll get into that a little later, there's like, it doesn't matter if we watch film on him, because when he's fighting us, it's completely different.
I gotta handle my shit.
Yeah, it's completely different. So it's amazing where the greats at what they do, thinking is actually a distraction to them. It's a distraction because they're so finely tuned in what they can do and how they can perform and so forth. You think when people are when they're on stage and they're talking, they're giving performances and they're singing and all that, they're actually thinking about what the hell they're doing? No.
And that's why when you ask people that are great at what they do, dude, how'd you fucking do that? They'll always say, I don't know, I just did it.
I just did it.
Yeah.
I just did. But you know how much time and preparation and years of training it takes to get to that level?
Dude, 20 years minimum at high level practice to become great. People say 10 years. I believe it's 20 years.
So on that note, we're talking about leadership. We're talking about development. I mean, we talked about
No. I have a question that I think leads right into what we're like. So
yeah, go ahead.
We were talking about like my employees, right? Okay, that you said about wanting to fire them and this and that. One of my questions that I've been dying to ask you is this. Okay, you have different categories for different people and where they fit. So explain that first, and then I'll ask my question.
Well, we have three categories. We call them coolers, closers, and cleaners. All right, your closers are your individuals that they do a good job. They do exactly what's expected of them. All right, if you tell them to show up at 9 o'clock, they're going to show up at 9 o'clock. They're going to leave at 5. If you tell them to make between that time, we want you to make 8 calls. They're going to make 8 calls. They may have 2 extra hours, but you told them make 8 calls. They're going to make 8 calls.
I did my job.
All right, I did my job. All right. They give you the expected results. You can count on them. They show up, so forth. They love to celebrate. They love to celebrate other people's achievements. They'll be the ones. Hey, Annie, can I borrow your car to go drive it? Because they're not interested in trying to be able to purchase that have their own car. So they're like, no, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. They drive a car. They want to drive your automobiles. Okay.
That's
right.
Yeah.
They drive a car. They want to drive your automobiles. All right. Your closers are a level above that. They're the ones that give you that end result majority of the time, as long as the script is drawn out for them. If too many variables are thrown at them, they don't know what to do. They stop. It freaks them out. All right. Then you have your cleaners. Your cleaners deliver that end result numerous times, over and over again. And it doesn't matter what circumstance is going to be thrown at them. They're going to say, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out.
And they're not someone who has to be coached all the way and look like they're handheld. They just go fucking do it.
They just do. They figure it out. Okay, they're the ones. Listen, if you go, you guys have train your people to talk about your products, and they be there, obviously the great products that you have, and be out there to sell them and have a chance to get other people involved in this healthy lifestyle. You got some individuals, they need that pamphlet or they need that booklet you give them, and you got others that just know the product inside and out. They just believe they can just talk. Somebody asked them a question. They did it on their own. It's everyone here has access to the same training.
That's right.
They have access to the same products. They got access to the same amount of time. They got access to the same products, same manuals, same resources. Why are some people killing it and others aren't? Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
So with that being said, that's for a lot of people, that's the first time they've heard this. So you have coolers, closers, and cleaners. All right. Now, I want to ask you this because I'm curious about this. Well, first of all, everybody fucking always thinks they're a cleaner, right?
And that's the thing. If you think you're a cleaner, you're not a cleaner.
Right.
No way.
I remember I learned that when I asked you, because I said, dude, we were on the phone one time and I said, hey, man, I said, I can't figure out where the fuck I fall in on this. Like, I'm doing this and this and this, but I still don't feel like I'm a cleaner, And your response was, that means you are a cleaner.
Yeah. You can't call yourself a cleaner because you're never satisfied. You always want more. There's always stuff going on. Somebody else can point out to it and say, that person's a cleaner.
Right.
God, this is funny because in my head, okay, this is how it works.
Everybody in our fucking company thinks they're fucking cleaner.
Well, I think that's natural by any standard, right? If you want to be one.
Yeah, they want to be it, but they aren't.
But here's the funny thing, right? Like I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, how awesome of a license plate would it be to be cleaner and nobody know it? And I thought, man, you could never put that on your own fucking license plate. Like that was my thought process while you guys were having that.
Okay, you can never.
You need a bumper sticker though.
People would look at this company and just say, man, look at what he's grown, what you guys have grown this to, and said these guys are cleaners, and you guys are like, we haven't even fucking started yet.
That's right. We haven't.
We haven't even started yet.
That's right. So, all right, you're one of the, if in my opinion, the best, but definitely one of the best performance coaches in the history of fucking mankind.
Thank you.
Okay? So if someone were to come to you and say, Tim, I'm going to give you $1 billion and you got to take this cooler and you got to turn him into a cleaner, okay? First of all, is that possible? And if so, how would you do it? What would that look like?
Listen, the one thing about it is you can go from one level to the next to the next. This is not something that you're born with. That's a mistake a lot of people have. Oh, they're just born that way. They're just wired that way. No. All right, what I always tell people is there's something that's happened in your life, usually in the younger stages, that how you handle that situation is going to kind of determine how you're going to be able to handle everything else. Did somebody else get you out of it? Or did somebody say, you go figure it out, and you did? Like you were talking about a fight. All right, did you go challenge that individual? Did you say, I'm gonna walk away. I'm not gonna do this. If adversity hits, did your mom and dad get you out of it? All right, or did they tell you, hey, you created this mess. We're gonna guide you, but you need to figure this out. So that's the first thing you got to look at the individual. And second, if I was gonna do it, the money's got nothing to do with it.
It's about winning.
It's about winning. It's about that challenge. It's about seeing that individual. So you'd sit there, you'd talk to that person, and you'd understand what do they want to be a cleaner in. This is the one thing everyone's got to understand too. Now, when we talk about running a business, a multi-million-dollar business, as First Form is, you have to look at it where you need all three of those types of individuals. If you had all cleaners in here,
it doesn't work.
Chaos.
Exactly. Yeah. So you need those three personalities. Now, your job as leaders is to know what those individuals are and where to put them where they can be most successful and be the most talented. You got individuals in here that may be only running on 10%. But that 10% of what they do
does the job perfectly for what they need to do.
Exactly.
Right.
It's invaluable to what you guys have.
So leadership, right? There's a good book on this concept called Good to Great. It's about putting your talent in the right places, right? And he uses the analogy of putting people in the right seats on the bus. All right. And that's huge for running a company, right? Or if you're a sports team, you've got to know, like if you're basketball and you got 5 guys on the court, you got to know who could do what and which guy fits in which role. And it's not just like, this is my position, I'm a point guard, or this is my position, I'm a center. There's a cultural hierarchy there that has to do with what we're talking about. But what if you're an employee, right? Like we have a lot of employees who are, and everybody starts out at the bottom. So we have guys who are out packing boxes, or guys that are, on the retail store floor, or they're doing the base level job and they're doing it. But they want to become, a high-level executive, which is totally possible here. We're one of the only companies that people could come in and make minimum wage and work their way up into 7-figure opportunities.
Sure.
I don't know many companies like that. We don't care about their college degree. I don't give a shit about that. I care about how effective you are here. What about those guys who are coolers right now, but they're like, man, I would like to fucking get better, and I would like to, become more wealthy and a better career and better my life. How would someone go about that?
Well, you know what? They go about by exactly what you said. They own that space. They own that opportunity. Whatever you give them to do, they take that job and they do it better than anybody else. And they're willing to learn. Say, hey, boss, what's next? What else?
Do more than is expected.
What else you got? What else you got for me? You need me to work late? You got, hey, you need something. When they come in, man, listen, we're short staff on Sunday. Before you even say who wants to come, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Yeah.
Those are the individuals that are willing to sacrifice all the other BS.
So if you're a guy who's at the bottom and you're one of these guys who's you want to progress, you want to do more, and this is like common sense to me and you and us, right? But like they're thinking like, man, because their fucking parents taught them the wrong shit. They're thinking like, well, eventually, Andy's going to come to me out in the warehouse and he's going to make me fucking CFO. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm not.
No.
You're going to have to go out and do the shit that closers do and that cleaners do to progress. And eventually, when you do enough of those things for a long enough time, guess what happens? You become that.
Exactly. And you learn, you become educated, you do the stuff that you're supposed to do and not what you're supposed to do. It's funny. You guys, how often do people want a pat on the back for doing their job?
Yeah.
For doing their job, what's expected of them. They want you to acknowledge what's expected of them.
Dude, that's probably 80% of people, at least.
The people like, hey, this is what I want to do. All right.
I love when people say this shit. They're like, how's it, you see this on fucking Instagram a lot. People post shit. Dude, you know what? I got my shit together. I got a job. I pay my rent. I pay my bills. And I'm thinking in my head the whole time, yeah, motherfucker, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. When people come in and they ask you guys for a job and they sit down and they lead off with, I'm a hard worker.
Duh.
You know what? I'm not hiring you. I'm looking for the laziest fucking person around. That's the person I want. That's the person I want to hire. It doesn't work that way. We're not giving you guys secrets. You have to do the work. You have to do the work.
And you got to produce a result. No one gives a fuck how hard you work.
Right. Listen, it's not about only working harder. It's about working harder and working smarter and getting better. Now, going back to the concept real quick about the coolers, closers, and cleaners. Now, and this is important for leadership. This is very important for you leaders out there. All right. Just because an individual is a cooler at work doesn't necessarily mean they're not a cleaner at something else.
Right.
All right. They could be cleaners at raising their kids.
At home. We talk this balance conversation.
Yeah. They could be cleaners at, charitable things, pet rescue, whatever
sports.
Yeah. Whatever it may be, gaming. That's their thing. So what happens is leaders come in and business people, they try to take those individuals and they think like, man, if this person is so good, if I could just push them a little bit more, or they could make so much more money, they could do this, and you start to push them and you see their results actually regress. Right? That's not that's important to those individuals. Something else at this particular time in their life, they want to be a cleaner at something else.
But a great leader, Tim, will find out what that thing is that they're fucking cleaner at. You'll get to know this person. You'll listen to them. What are you into? What do you do? We got guys here who are into MMA and they're passionate about it, or they're in, find those things and then try to extract their feelings about that and teach them to apply those same things at work.
But how many leaders do you know actually take that time with their employees?
Most people just fucking call themselves a leader. They're not a fucking leader. They're a babysitter.
Yeah.
They don't actually inspire and teach and cultivate talent.
You know why? Because they're afraid. There's so many leaders that are afraid to help other individuals, to bring those people along because they're threatened by their abilities. Because
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does happen. There's a lot of individuals that are out there. A lot of individuals don't become successful because they're afraid of success.
You know who the fucking highest paid people are in business? They're the people who can cultivate the most amount of leaders.
Yes.
The people who can replicate and teach and coach the most amount of leaders. The people who can bring people who are normal people and make them extreme performers. Those people are paid millions of dollars.
And you know what it forces those people to do? It forces those individuals to raise their game because they're being challenged by a whole other group of individuals.
But I think it starts by, because in order to cultivate that talent, you have to lead by example. You have to be doing that work. You have to do those small things. And a lot of people are afraid to let those people into the small things of their life, so they kind of
because they're not doing it.
That's right. They're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with our guys this morning, like, hey man, that's where social is such a crucial aspect. Like, let them into your lives, and you got to do the little things. I'm talking from the time you fucking get up to the time you go to sleep, you have to lead.
Dude, a lot of people...
Like your guys are watching.
Yeah, but when we're saying that to them, because both of us say that to people, they hear that and they don't understand what we're saying. They're thinking like this. Well, what difference does it make if I fucking take a shower after I work out and come in looking nice and feeling good? And this, what difference does it make if I, don't wipe the extra water off the sink in the bathroom? What difference does it make? Here's the fucking difference it makes. It's not that somebody's going to literally come in and fucking catch you not doing it and you're going to get in trouble. Okay? It's that you're cultivating a certain set of skills in yourself by passing or doing the little things when no one's watching. You're creating discipline. You're creating more integrity in yourself, more confidence in yourself, more belief in yourself, which ultimately pours over into every other aspect of your life. People highly underestimate the little things, because when somebody who is a leader like you, they come in and they hear you say, oh, you got to do the little things and you got to take pride in the little things. They're like, well, fuck that. You're never going to see my fucking bedroom. You're never going to see the inside of my car. What difference does it make? And that's fucking losers think.
But we go out and look at them.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
It's about cultivating the skill set.
But also what individuals think is insignificant in the little details could be the most important thing to somebody else.
It's the number one thing that I look at personally.
It's the most, it could be so different. What you think is, that doesn't matter. It could be so important to somebody else. So let's say you got a client coming in here who wants to buy X amount of things. All right. And they're like this really person that's like really into cleanliness and clean and so forth. And they walk into the bathroom. All right. And they see it. Okay. Now now they start to think, well, if this is how he runs this, imagine how everything else.
I think that about everywhere I go.
Listen,
every fucking place I go, Tim,
goes.
I think that. Like if I go into a restroom in a restaurant bathroom or a fucking office bathroom or that, like I don't know if I'm weird, but I judge everybody like that.
And my thing is I always use the bathroom. I use the bathroom of a restaurant as what does their kitchen look like. If I walk into the bathroom at a restaurant, it's a shithole.
Yeah, you don't want to eat their food.
Fuck no, man. It like
that's what I'm saying.
that's the OCD in my brain.
Right, but I'm saying, but those details matter.
Details do matter.
Those little details that, it's insignificant. No, it's significant. It may be insignificant to you, but it could be the most significant thing to somebody else. And it goes back to what you said earlier, and it's cutting corners. If you cut those little corners there, it's like if you're walking, one thing I've noticed here, you walk down this whole place, there's not one piece of paper on the floor.
Fuck no. They fucking get fired for that.
There's not one piece of paper on this floor. Why? Because
I know why.
No matter who it is,
no, somebody will pick it up. Right?
Somebody's going to be somebody. Yeah. They're not going to wait for somebody else to pick it up. Well, you know what? They got a cleaning service that comes in there when things are closed.
No. I fucking fired our cleaning service. Tell them the story, how I fired them.
Well, you fired him. Well, the whole story? Like
no,
I showed up at your house?
The whole story. The fucking lady showed up the wrong fucking house. So this was like Christmas Eve or some shit, and Sal has his fucking
it was New Year's
cleaning
Day.
Lady coming over, all right? Not to my house. I'm fucking sleeping, all right? And, dude, I don't sleep very well. So, like, when I sleep, I naturally sleep from, like, 4 a.m. till, like, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Like, and don't disturb me during that time because I can't fucking sleep at any other time. It's weird. So, anyway, I'm actually going to a sleep doctor here in a couple days. But besides that, so it's fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day. I get pounded on my garage door. And I'm like, who the fuck is here? And so I get up, I open the door, and it's the fucking cleaning lady. And I'm like looking at her, and she's like, oh my God, I'm at the wrong fucking house. And I'm like, I literally just stared at her like, you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. And she fucking goes, I'm so sorry. I just shut the door. Like, dude, I was pissed. Like, so then that's the first strike. The second strike was I didn't fire her then. She cleaned our office too. So then we had an event, okay, and we have her cleaning Sal's house, my house, our friends' houses, everybody that works here's houses, the office. We're fucking getting her a lot of business. So I call her. We have a special party coming up, and I'm saying, hey, I know it's short notice. This is like 6-7 days in advance, not like the day before. I'm like, can you swing by and help us get the house ready? We're having this party. And she told me no. She's like, no, I can't do it. I'm like, okay. Well, I come to the office the next day. I said, Sal, she's fucking fired. You can't fucking go out of your way for somebody who's fucking paying all your bills, then you fucking ain't working here, period. And so I come in. I said, Sal, she's fucking fired. Sal's like, why? And I'm like, because this. He goes, you're fucking insane. And I'm like, I don't care. She's fucking fired. And then I said, we're making everybody here fucking clean the office because, dude, they need to learn how to do the little things. And honestly, our fucking office stays clean now. It teaches everybody to pick up the trash, clean up the bathroom. It's cultivated a habit of little details. They're not, because when you have a cleaning service come in your office every day, everybody knows they don't have to pick up the trash.
Yes.
They don't have to clean the bathroom. They're like, oh, and guess what? Guess what they say? That's somebody else's job. You don't want a motherfucker.
It's everybody's job.
Yes, and you don't want people cultivating that mentality. And that, regardless of her fucking up, I didn't like her being here because of that. Right. And that's why we got rid of her. But like the point is that you have to look at what every action that you're doing in your business, because what you're doing is cultivating a certain mentality amongst your employees. Do you have a cleaning service here at 24 hours a day? What are your employees learning from that? Well, they're learning to keep their fucking shit dirty. They're learning not to look at the details. And if they don't look at the details and they look at everything and say, oh, that's the cleaning lady's job, guess what they're going to do whenever something's important? You know what? That's fucking so-and-so's job. And you know what? Before you know it, your company fucking sucks. Yeah. And that's how it goes. And it all starts with the first time you don't pick up the piece of trash on the fucking floor.
It's just I've never understood that. It's just you can't let people get away. You can't let them get away with stuff.
But it starts with yourself, right?
That's right.
You can't let yourself get away with it.
That's right.
It starts with yourself, and then if it starts with yourself, you set that example. You don't have to say anything else because they're like, man, he's doing it. Okay.
Right.
Dude, I've been making my bed every day for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, see, I'm bad at that. That's the one thing I don't do.
I watched this video, and he's an admiral. He gave a commencement speech.
That's a good video, and I recommended the book, but I still don't make my fucking bed.
Yeah. But he always talked about starting your day off. So like I've created this habit that there's days like I'm trying to get the hell out of the house or it's not ready. And I will like look at it before I walk out, and I'll always go back because I got to start there. You know what I mean? Like start at
That's such a good book.
The little bitty things, man.
You know what? It's very important. Listen, routines are so important. Your greatest athletes have routines. They have routines that prepare them and gets them ready for that game. Because what they do is they eliminate. If you have a bad game, or if you don't have a routine, okay, you can't. It's very hard to pinpoint where things can go wrong. This way, if you have a routine, you know where the variables
what changed?
are.
What's the X?
What's changed? What happens? What goes on? All this other stuff. That's why it's funny. Your best athletes. It doesn't happen by mistake. Okay, they keep their trainers close by. All right, they put in the extra work. They show up early. They leave late. They're not the ones that the coaches got to ask to take extra shots or to do stuff. They're the ones that picking up the towels, putting them away. When they leave the gym, they're the last one in the gym. They don't leave the gym a mess. They come in, they put everything back where it's supposed to be. This stuff doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen by accident.
I can close this out because we already all these topics Tim and I talked about them this morning. It's actually really crazy. And so, tell them the example of Michael Jordan using starting every practice off. How did he do it?
Every greatest basketball player to ever play the game.
Who wins in a one-on-one?
All right, huh?
Who wins in the one-on-one? It's the famous question. LeBron or Michael?
Come on, man.
Nah.
that's not
it's
even,
like the number one internet argument. Did you know that?
That's because everybody now the people arguing it weren't around to watch Michael play.
Okay. Yeah. It's just, listen, I got a lot of respect for LeBron. LeBron's not a one-on-one player. Okay. He's not a one-on-one.
I'm totally just playing in because I know it's like one of the top Googled things.
Yeah. LeBron's not a one-on-one player. Every practice started with chest passes. I'm talking about at the pro level.
At the top of the pro level.
At the top of the pro level, the best of the best. Every practice. Chest passes.
And who started that?
Okay.
He started it.
Yeah. It was just like, and it wasn't just like I'm talking about rotation of the ball, hands in the right position, thumbs
the smallest
The
details.
thing you learn when you're 3.
Yeah.
Stepping forward. Okay. Every single practice. And then you know what everybody else saw in practice? They were like, well, if it's good enough for the greatest. So every practice, that's how everyone started.
They all started doing it.
They
Oh,
all
shit.
started
Leading by
all
example,
started
you
doing
know?
it. They all started doing it.
That's what people don't
That was the
understand.
coolest thing
Dude,
all the morning.
Uh-huh.
One of the things too about young leaders is that you take somebody who has leadership qualities, and as a CEO or a position of authority or a coach, you put them in a position of leadership. Those people go through a transition period, and some of them never fully transition, but they can't understand why other people would do what they do. They're like, well, I'm not special, so they're not going to listen to me or not going to do what I do. Motherfucker, if you think that, just start doing shit right and watch what happens. They will do exactly what you do, okay? You are a leader. They will follow you. You just have to be the person to step up and do the shit. You know, start with the fundamentals. Sweep the floor. You know, clean off the products. Write, you know, the emails that you need to write, and let them see you doing it. And guess what? They'll do it. It's that simple. It is that simple. It goes down to what's the Lombardi quote? Leading by example isn't the best way to lead. It's the only fucking way to lead.
Yeah.
You know, and it's and their doubt in the fact that other people are actually going to listen to them or follow them keeps them from becoming a great leader. You know what I mean?
That's the hardest wall to cross, though.
It is because
it's embarrassing.
You can't talk somebody out of it.
Right.
You can't, because I could sit here all day long and look at somebody and say, dude, look, if you do this, they'll follow you. But they still think in their head, well, I'm not a fucking leader. You know what I mean?
It's disbelief.
Right. So
a lot of times you talk yourself out of things. I mean,
most of the time,
90% of the
Yeah.
time.
You come up with a great idea. You come up with this great idea. 10 other people tell you it's a lousy idea. Now you think, oh, it's a lousy idea. Well,
Yeah.
right before you talked to them, you thought it was a great idea. If it's your idea, follow through with it. See where it can take you. At some point in your life, you got to stop making suggestions and you got to start making decisions.
Start with actions.
All right, and people don't want to make decisions because you know why? Because now you got to answer the hard questions.
But I'd much rather take a guy, when you're looking from a leadership hiring standpoint, I'd much rather take the guy who's aggressive, making mistakes. Like, listen, man, I can deal with that.
yeah, passive sex.
I can be, when you're sitting back and like not making anything happen, you're no value to me.
No, and it comes across as lazy.
I can train the guy
Like,
to point him in the
you know
right
what I'm saying?
direction.
Like,
Yes.
people might be afraid, so they're not doing the things they should do, and it comes across as lazy. Where, like, dude, I've never fucking fired somebody for making mistakes with good intentions.
You've been pissed.
Yeah, I've been mad. But
Costs
you know
money
what?
usually.
I look at it as their education. But
Right.
but the problem is that, you know, when you don't do anything, the people above you who put you in the position of leadership, now they're saying, man, that motherfucker's lazy.
Yeah.
They're not saying, oh, he's afraid or oh, he's scared.
I'll tell you when we go back to the cooler, closer, cleaner things. So coolers don't really learn a whole. They come in, they do their job. All right. Closers learn from failure. You know, everyone says you learn from failure and so forth. All right. So closers, when things don't go wrong, okay, you teach them, they learn that. Cleaners learn from losing and from winning. That's a huge difference. People don't have the ability to learn when they win because there's so much to learn that way too of what you did to get there. What's the next step? I mean,
and
Michael,
what could you have done to win by more?
But
exactly.
We talked about this morning, like, and this is kind of the weird. You talk about the weird place and the weird brain, and you know, like, tasting winning's fucking awesome. And when you get that disease, it's like crack rock. You know, like, you taste the win and you want to win. And we were having this conversation about balance. You know, like, I can't shut my brain off about the win because I feel like, man, there's somebody else doing it. Like, I'm not willing to sacrifice the win for any cost. And this is the home work life balance that I've associated in my life. Like, it's really hard. It's difficult for me. But winning's so fucking important to me that you start finding. I get up earlier. You know what I mean? I stay awake later.
No, you find a fucking way.
No, and
Yeah.
what you realize and what I've realized along my journey of life. Most people have never fucking won. So they haven't tasted it. They didn't win in Little League. They didn't win in high school. They didn't win in college. They didn't win.
Man,
They didn't
that's
win.
Such a fucking good point.
And they don't taste the drug. Like, the feeling of winning is better than any motherfucker. There's only one other feeling that's kind of close, and then guys should probably know what it fucking is.
What?
You know, like
What?
at the end of the horizontal shuffle.
What's that? What's the horizontal shuffle? Let Vaughn tell us about it.
Vaughn,
What is it about? What's he talking about, Vaughn?
that feeling's very similar to winning, but winning is a gift that keeps on giving. You know what I mean?
So is your wife.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing.
By the way, that was a joke about him having 3 kids under 2 years old.
Which is the segue of me.
Yeah.
I have to leave because
Sal's getting his
I'm
balls
going to
snipped.
get my vasectomy.
Yeah.
Dude, just think of the position I'm in right this second. Your entire life, you protect your jewels.
Now you're like, hey, man, cut these motherfuckers off.
I'm paying you $500. Make them don't work no more.
Oh, all right, dude. You could take off.
Tim,
Yeah.
Pleasure, man.
Thanks for sitting in, man.
no,
So
it was awesome. Thank you, guys.
I want to switch gears, though, real quick. I want you to tell the story about how you became Michael Jordan's trainer, because I think that's a great story for people to hear.
Well, there was an article in the paper.
I mean, you're just a kid, right?
Yeah, I'm just a kid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm just a kid. There's an article in the
You're
paper.
just a personal trainer.
I'm a personal trainer in a
yeah,
gym.
Right.
All right. I finished my college. I had my master's degree in exercise science. I was making $3.75 working back in the. You guys may not. You guys in this room will know, but the audience listening, it used to be called before the room that had all the machines back then. It was called the Nautilus room. That's what
I
was
remember that. Yeah.
had all the Nautilus equipment. So I was a person in the Nautilus room when new members would come in. I'd teach them how to use all the different machines and go through the different things. So you had your little downtime. I was all right. Okay, so I spent 6 years in college to teach people how to use a Nautilus equipment. But again, it's doing the stuff that nobody sees that you have to learn. And there was a little article in the paper saying how Michael Jordan is tired of taking the physical abuse from the Detroit Pistons. All right, so I go out, I send letters out to all the players trying to get in. Hopefully I can get to Michael and so forth. So the one person that responds, the best of the best.
No way.
Yeah.
He's the one person.
Only person that responded.
What did the letter say?
The letter would just say, hey, this is my background. This is what I do. I've always wanted to know about work with professional athletes. This is my educational background. This is what I've done. I've worked at this camp. I've done this. I've worked with these individuals and all this other stuff. Just saying, hey, give me a chance. And I was like, there's no way he's going to see
So did he send you a letter back or
He's
a
not.
call?
No, so he contacted the athletic trainer and the team physician during that time and said, hey, talk to this kid, see if he knows what he's talking about. So went through that whole process of them making sure I wasn't BSing them, made sure I knew what I was talking about, that I actually did go to college and I actually learned something. And so then they put me in touch with him, and I told him what I could do for him and what's going on. And he said, I'll give you 30 days. 30 days turned into 15 years. But what I learned from that is you see the best of the best and your most successful individuals, they're always looking to get better because they're never.
That's not all I heard there. What I heard too was this: no matter where you are and when you see something that you think you could do or help or benefit at, reach out. Nobody's gonna come get you.
No.
Michael Jordan would have still been in the fucking Nautilus room, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge deal. It just took one action to say, hey, I can fucking help you.
Right, but I agree with you 100% on that, but here's the problem I had. Now people are reaching out to you that haven't
But they can't help you.
They
Right.
can't help you and haven't done anything.
Right.
They haven't done anything.
I find there's a paradox there, though. It seems like the people who haven't done anything are the ones looking for the big home run to try to reach out as quick. So they're fucking like, oh, let me help you, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And the guys who are actually qualified because they have a cleaner mentality, they're like, well, he probably someone better than me is going to get that position. So I'm, you know what I'm saying? So they don't say it.
Right. It's funny. It's people always promise they can do this, they can do this, they can do. Listen, the one thing that's never gone up in price in your lifetime is going to be talk. Talk's always been cheap. It's always going to be cheap. All right, is your ability to deliver, to be able to back it up, to show those results, to be put in that pressure situation, and to be able to deliver what you said is promised. You did something that I was talking this with your brother earlier. I'm sitting around. I don't even know where I was. I'm sitting here, and you said, "Hey, watch this." I'm like, "Okay, I'm watching this." You send out I don't know if it was an Instagram or if it was a tweet about the book.
Yeah.
That's all you said. You said, "Watch this." Put it out there. The sales went crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to do it. All right. I didn't say, "Hey, I need your help." There's something you felt this book helped you.
Dude,
it can help a lot of individuals. You said, "Watch this." You know how many people reach out to me on social media that said, "I can get you this, I can get you influencers, I can get you this, I can get you that," and I look at their background and I was like, "You got to be kidding me."
Yeah, right. No shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not, and because you know what? Because there's a lot of other speakers out there that are telling everybody, you need to reach out, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Only do that if you can fucking deliver.
Well,
dude, Gary Vee said that shit, man. He fucking told all these motherfuckers to go out and get in people's DMs and this and that and this and this and this. And then now I got so many fucking DMs from people, I can't even see the good ones. You know what I'm saying? And I told Gary, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, quit telling people to go out and DM people. It's annoying because these people are doing it that have never done shit.
And have never done anything. And guess what? For you people listening, I'm not that one.
Yeah.
Do not send me
Fuck no,
a
man.
DM. All right, unless you got some strong backing behind it and some results to prove it.
Right.
Okay, I'm not that one person that you should be sending stuff to.
No, dude, and people will do this. They'll send you a fucking DM, and then they'll be, I did this and this and this, and then come to find out they didn't do any of that shit.
Yeah.
Now, when you do that to somebody who actually has reach and influence and shit, guess what? You just ruined your fucking name with everybody.
Yes.
Dude, it reminds
Because everybody up there, especially in the social media world, knows each other.
Yes.
We text each other, we call each other, and then we're like, dude, look at this fucking guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It happens
You know
every time. I'm sorry. It happens every time when you get those DMs from the social media companies that say, "Hey, we'll build your brand into this. Like, we'll get you so many followers." And you go on their page and they got like 50 followers, and it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Right.
What happens, this is what social media has allowed individuals to do now. All right. It's allow you to hide behind something. All right. Annie, how many, you look at, this is the one thing you and I have in common.
Well, we're both fucking handsome as shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing. When you look at his picture and his posts, he looks exactly like that. When you look at my pictures and my posts, that's exactly how you look. How many times have you seen people with their profile picture and you meet that person?
I don't know
in
who the fuck he
person,
is.
Like, no, you got to be kidding me.
Dude,
way.
there's actually like some high level fucking people that are like that too.
Yeah. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, and you see people, they literally spend 45 minutes of their day, cropping the right picture, make sure it's the right thing. You know what? I'd rather see you working in those 45 minutes doing something that actually means something that's going to get those results. And that's what we talked about earlier. All this stuff can be taught. It's not something that's just, it's not in you. You got to trade one addiction for another. But when you trade that one addiction for another, you have to trade. Then there's going to be more addictions to trade. There's going to be more things to do, and it's a constant cycle. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly evolving to get better, or you're constantly evolving to get worse. And if you're staying in the same place, guess what? You're getting worse.
Right. Things are evolving.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce another aspect of this based on what you wrote about in your book because it's really fascinating to me. So Lord Acton, probably never heard of him, but he said great men are very often bad men. Now, I disagree with that. I think great men can be good men. But I was fascinated by the aspect of your book where you talked about channeling your dark side.
Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Fuck,
got
that's
one.
all I got.
No, everyone's got one.
Well, I'm laughing, but I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm laughing. So my question is, because I think people hear that and they say, wait a minute, are you really truly telling me I have to be a jerk to be a cleaner? So straighten that out for the people
It's got nothing to do. Listen, It's got nothing to do with being a jerk. If people say telling the truth and working hard is being a jerk, then that's it. If sacrificing, not hanging out with your boys on Friday because you got something else more important to do, you want to spend some more time at the office, or you got a project you're working on that you're trying to better yourself and your family with, if that's called being a jerk, then become a jerk. But the dark side is what's special to you. It's what lights your own fire. This isn't listen, everyone thinks about it as it being about drugs, sex, and alcohol and all that stuff. You know what? It can be for a lot of individuals. It is. Don't get me wrong there. But it could also be about that individual who was raised by a single parent, all right, and remembered when their father left or their mother wasn't there.
Fuck yeah, man.
And they take that and they don't curl up with it. They take that and they use it as their own personal fuel to make a better life for themselves, make a better life for those individuals, make those individuals around you. All right, when we talk about the dark side, everyone wants to talk about stuff that makes you feel good and hugs and kisses and all that, high fives and all that. In my days, those things are earned. All right. This is not daytime TV. This is not what this is about. This is about every individual. And I don't care how successful you are or where you're starting out. We've all had that moment or moments, all right, where you're up at 3, 4 o'clock in the at night, and you go out and you sit in the chair. The room is dark, and you got all this stuff going through your head. You got all these different things, all these different thoughts. You got all these different sayings. You got all these different voices in your head, and you're thinking about what's next. What do I got to do? And you know what your job is? As if you don't control it, that's when your dark side takes control of you. It's your job. You have to become the maestro of that head up there and get everybody up in there playing the same fucking tune. That's what you have to do. You got to get every voice in there. You got to get every little sound that you in here. Some people hear bells. You know what? I'm in that dark place. I hear that noise when you take your nails on a chalkboard. That's what's going on in there. All right, so don't think that every individual who's sitting in this room hasn't gone through that or is going through that. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how successful you have. But you know what? People don't want to talk about this shit because it's real and it's not going to show up on a show of Ellen or on a daytime thing. But this is reality.
Dude, we have a thing here called 100 to 0. Okay, and what that means is that I have a whole episode on it. If you haven't listened to it, Vaughn, I don't know the fucking number, but it's 100 to 0. It's a lifestyle, okay? The whole concept is this. It's okay to run the fucking score up on everybody else, okay? You don't have to hold back. You don't have to believe that you're less. You don't have to try less because everybody else isn't doing their shit. You know, all this shit that you're talking about, the hugs and kisses and unicorns and rainbow bullshit, that's all. That's it. That's what it is. It's complete bullshit. They're teaching our fucking youth to pull back, hold back, be fair, and like they think being fair is not trying to compete and not winning, and if you win by too many points, you're a douchebag, and all this shit. And then they go out in the real world, and with that mentality, and what happens? They get fucking stomped on.
Right, because they don't know how to deal with adversity. They don't know how to deal with adversity.
But they have never had to.
They never had to.
So, so they're listening to their moms and their dads who they love and trust and think they're supposed to tell them the fucking truth, and they're telling them, oh, you're special, you're great, you're this, you're that. Well, you're not that fucking great. No. There's a lot of people that are far more great than you. And so when you go out in the world and you compete against these people, what happens? They smash your fucking face.
You fold.
Yes.
You fold. That's what all these things now about the participation trophies.
Oh,
you get certificates and all this stuff for just showing up. So you're going to tell them the workforce, when you go into workforce or you apply for a college, there's 40 openings in a college. There's 1,400 people applying for that for those 40 spots. That's competing. That's competition. If you want to get in that school, you gotta raise your game. If there's 30 people applying for one job, okay, not all 30 people get that job. One person gets that job. And if you've had everything handed to you and you don't know how to compete, you don't know how to deal with winning, you don't know how to deal with losing, you don't know how to deal with failure because everybody else has covered that shit up for you. you're done.
No, you're fucking done.
You are
fucking done.
You are done. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You're done before you even fucking start.
All this stuff.
Because those are the same people, man. When they get a job and somebody like me comes along and says, "Hey, dude, you fucking skip that shit. That fucking sucks. Don't do that." It's not, "Oh, he likes me and he's helping me to get better."
Right.
It's, "Oh, he's a dick. He's mean to me. The people at my job suck. My manager's terrible. My coworker." It becomes this big ball of fucking blaming instead of just saying, "You know what? I can get better. I do suck at that."
I'd rather be the asshole that tells you the truth than the motherfucker that lies to
No
your
shit,
face.
because eventually what happens? Dude, how many times did these professional athletes that you coach fucking hate your guts? Seriously.
All the time.
Yeah. And guess what? Now they probably call you on the phone and they fucking love you 20 years later, 10 years later.
You get so many individuals. I said, listen, what I tell you right now, you may not understand, but you're going to remember it. And somewhere down the line, you're going to be thinking, you know what? He was the only person that told it to me straight.
Yeah.
That told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. There's a huge difference. People say, "Oh, he didn't hear that," or "He didn't listen to that." All right. Not only do you got to hear it, you got to listen to it. You just can't do one or the other. You have to do
Yeah, and it
both.
might make you fucking mad when you hear it. You might get pissed, but take 5 minutes to be pissed. Go in the fucking corner and pout for 5 fucking minutes. But then think if he's actually right. Think if that's actually true. Am I actually cutting the corner? Am I actually being lazy? Am I actually doing whatever he said I was doing? And if it's true, own it.
If you're already pissed off and you need 5 minutes,
you know it's true.
It's already true.
That's right.
That's
why you're mad.
That's why you're pissed off because you got caught.
Yeah,
because you got
fucking
caught.
True, man.
That's it. You already know. You don't need that extra 5 minutes. You know what? Here, the best way to end that conversation when somebody just say, "Hey, I fucked up. Now go fix it."
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's it, man.
So, for the record,
well, dude, okay, what's
I was just going to say, for the record, the episode is 179 for 100 to 0. But I wanted to say something real quick. So I was reading somewhere about Wyatt Earp, the old lawman,
Sure.
was asked one time, like, how did you get such a commitment to the law? And his answer, and I'm paraphrasing here, is he basically said, "Listen, it's not really that. It's that there's something about bad men hurting good people that just really pisses me off." Yeah. And to me, that sounds a little bit of what Andy says all the time, and kind of what you're talking about, channeling your dark side, which is anger and negativity are underrated motivations.
No, they're fucking
and that's what I'm hearing you say.
It's control. It's control. You know what? You get a lot of people. You get a lot of people that say, "Man, you need to go. You need to go. You need to get pissed off. You need to get mad." Well, guess what? If you can't perform when you're calm, all right, you're not going to be able to perform when you're pissed off or mad. All right, you got to learn to be able to control it. You can't get pissed off. It's controlled.
No,
rage.
it is controlled.
It's controlled.
Yes.
It's controlled.
That's a great point because I've never
anger.
addressed that.
Okay,
it is controlled. You don't run out like a fucking wild man,
right?
Pissed off.
Right.
But take the shit, soak it in, and then turn it into productive action.
Exactly.
I think you say controlled rage.
It's controlled.
Right?
It's controlled. Yeah. It's controlled rage. It's like what you say. You're just not out there. Just don't. It's control. You have control of that situation. You challenge that rage into something productive. That's what you do. You use it to make a point. You use it to get what you want. You use it to help the business. Help it to help your family. You have to control it. If you don't control it, it's going to control you, and that's what happens with majority of the time.
Dude, if I externalized my internal feelings most of the time when I'm fucking doing what I do really good, okay, people would think I was a fucking baby. They would think I was a fucking whiny, pouty baby because I'm fucking pissed off. I'm throwing an internal temper tantrum to want to fucking destroy whoever the fuck I'm competing against. Like when I said I only have a dark side, that's the fucking truth. Like, dude, my whole life I was fucking picked on. I was called fat. I was told I was going to fucking be a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. Not by my parents, but by other kids.
Sure.
Dude, like you saw that video of that kid with the bullying probably on Instagram. That dude, you know what I liked about that? First of all, I love that he said that, but what I didn't like about it was this. You know what? He's right. But no matter how much we fucking say, "Oh, you shouldn't bully or you shouldn't pick on," there's always going to be fucking bullies.
Always.
There's always going to be people to pick on you. And I love that kid and I support that kid in his message. But somebody should also tell him, "Look, you're going to have to fucking toughen up, man. You're going to have to fucking get strong." And because if you think you're getting bullied now, the real world doesn't give a fuck about anything. So like, and I really did love that video. I thought it was great, but there needs to be two parts to that video. One part, he's right, it's wrong. The other part is, hey guys, look, we're not going to change it. We could try to change it. We can stand up and be a voice for it, but it's like cancer, right? You can march all you want, but there's still fucking cancer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we've got to deal with it. But anyway, like the dark side, like, dude, I've had so much fucking bullshit come through me that seems like insignificant, but it's stuck to me that, like, dude, I just want to, I want to jam it down every motherfucker's throat, like, that I've ever fucking met. You know what I mean? And it's weird. Like, I guess it's insecurity that drives it. I don't fucking know, but whatever it is, it ain't fucking rainbows and fluffy fucking dogs.
You know what? You look at it. Listen, why does Tom Brady? Why does Michael? Why did Kobe? They continue to work.
Well, look at Michael, man. He was fucking cut from his fucking basketball team.
You know, why do these individuals that run these billion-dollar companies? You know what it's about? It's about the next conqueror. It's about their insecurity. It's about not letting the competition beat them. You don't think so when they go out every single day and they train? You don't think so? Tom Brady thinks about, I was the 199th player picked in the draft that year.
No shit.
All right? You don't think so? He's like that. I got to go prove myself. So he doesn't play like he's a top quarterback.
And even though he's already proved that,
right,
he still has to prove it.
Right. He listen, he may have proved it to others, but to himself. Not to himself. Not to himself. Not to him. The greats never proved
So
that.
let me ask you this, because this is an interesting concept off of that. So Michael Jordan, all right? I know for sure, like, first of all, when he retired, didn't he say something funny to you? Like, if he ever saw you again, he's going to fucking shoot you or some shit?
He said, if I ever see you in the neighborhood again, I'm going to personally shoot you.
That's fucking awesome. So, dude, when Michael retired, okay, or any of these guys that you coach, like Kobe, all right? I'm just trying to get a grasp on the mindset. I think I understand it, but I want you to hear from you. They're having something to prove. Like Michael got cut from his basketball team. I don't know if he ever voiced that, but I don't care. I know for a fact he wanted to jam it down those motherfuckers' throats every fucking day.
Yes.
And that's what drove his habitual discipline, practice, and work ethic. And those were the things that got him the fame and the championships and the MVPs and all the shit. But when he retired, like when Tom Brady retires, and he's the fucking best, statistically the best, do they change? Do they say, you know what, I was the best?
No, they don't. You know what? Other people acknowledge that they're the best.
Right.
All right. And you know, if they're sitting in a room among their boys and all this other stuff, yeah, they'll give a jab here.
Right.
Yeah, you know, like Michael and
like
Wayne
I'll beat your ass.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But what they don't think about is they don't think about the ones they won. They think about the one that got away.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah.
That's the story. Is that, man, I retired with 6. But shit, I could have had 8. I could have had this.
Yeah.
You know, that's
and even though everybody else is like, dude, you're the fucking greatest player ever, that they're still like, man, I could have been better.
I could have been
That's
better.
it's kind of like an agonizing way to live. Like, dude, people come to me and like, dude, I'm not successful. Like, dude, you drive up and down your fucking street right now, wherever the fuck you're listening right now, and you're going to see 100 dudes that own companies that are far more successful than me. Drive up any street, okay? I don't consider myself successful. I have my ideas of what I want success to be for me, and I know what that is. But I never celebrate. I never feel good about what we did. Nothing's ever good enough, you know. And when you live like that, dude, people, they see it from the outside and they're like, "Oh, you should be celebrating," or you won the fucking NBA championship, you should be celebrating. You never really get to enjoy the shit because you're like, it's
you know what? Here's the thing: you enjoy it, but you don't celebrate because you know what? If you continue to celebrate, your competition is sneaking up. Sneaking up. They're coming up on you.
I love that distinction. You enjoy it, but you don't celebrate.
You don't celebrate. You know, here's a great example. You know, I'll talk. You know, everyone's talking about players. Bill Belichick. All right, after they won the last.
I love that dude. I wish he was my fucking coach.
Okay, after he won the last. Super Bowl last year. Hour and a half. They're interviewing him. He's giving this last interview. All right, and the guy's saying, "Man, you know, you won the championship. You know, all this other stuff. How do you feel?" He goes, "This is nice, but I'm 5 weeks behind next year."
Fuck. Yeah. And you know he ain't joking either.
No, he goes, "I'm 5 weeks behind. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. You know, the celebrations. Let them celebrate. I'm 5 weeks behind next year."
Yeah,
I read something similar where Nick Saban was complaining to someone that being in the national championship was costing him recruiting time.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That's
man.
how. That's you know. And you think that's what I try to say. You think these guys were born that way? No, they're not. They weren't. They're not born.
No, they've learned what it takes.
They've learned learned what it takes. And and that's what we talk about in Relentless. We can teach this. We actually have a system to teach this stuff. We have this thing. The Relentless system can teach people, hey, to get over your fears.
That's something cool that people don't know. People don't know that they can actually have you as a coach. Because, like, dude, I would fucking love to have you as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs a fucking coach. The coolest thing that Tim's got going on now is the relentless system. It's basically having you as a fucking mindset coach. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, anywhere I want to go. I talk to you the same way I talk to my pros. Listen, if you're looking for the rainbows and the fluff, this ain't it. Go somewhere else. Okay, if you want hard reality, you want the hard facts, you want to know what these guys think, how I talk to them, why they got to the next level, the Relentless system is for you. And because of my boy Andy, because of him, Andy and Sal, both you guys here, for a special price for you guys, normally the thing sells for $12.97. All right, if you punch in the code MFCEO, all right, $4.99. There you go. MFCEO.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, good.
I apologize.
No, so guys, here's the deal. I don't let people plug shit on the show, but this is something I believe in, okay? This is something that we talked about, Tim and I have talked about, and I'm very proud of him for doing this because he has a gift, and Tim is a very wealthy guy. This isn't a money thing, okay? Tim is committed to making an impact across the world, and his information is worth fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of times what he charges for it. So if you guys are interested in learning how to become mentally tough, how to learn some drills and exercises on how to think, how champions think, if you're the guy, like I said, who is at the bottom level of your company and you're trying to learn to go from a cooler to a closer to a cleaner, this is exactly how you do it. So you have to, this is an investment. The schooling and education system has changed. No longer are you going to go to school and learn the skills that you needed to learn to be productive. You have to go out and seek people, and the technology that we have, we're very blessed to have. You're allowed to have access to people like Tim who can teach you these things that your parents never could teach you, that your teachers can't teach you. This is an amazing opportunity, and, you guys know if I recommend something, you're going to fucking love it. So that's my fucking, plug. Go support him. Go learn this shit. I don't care if you're making $5 million a year or if you're making fucking $5 a year. This is something that you need to fucking invest in yourself at.
Okay, and just to clarify, you did say the code there, but is it timgrover.com or where do they go?
You go to timgrover.com.
Yeah.
All right, you punch in the code. All right, and you get the price. All right, and this is probably, listen, Andy, you've done stuff for me I've never asked you to do. All right, I remember the first time we met, you came. I don't know if you texted me.
What you don't realize, Tim, is that you did shit for me first by writing the fucking book.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and I know you're modest and humble about it. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. You wrote my book, but you don't understand the impact that fucking made on me.
And you've told me that numerous times. Every
Yeah.
time I see you, you've told, and I can tell that you're genuine about that.
Yeah.
We've been sitting there talking for I don't know how long it is, and we can continue to go. We can continue to go forever because you and I think alike. We act alike. We don't care what anybody else thinks about us. We're not gonna lay out all the bullshit. Either you're gonna listen to us and you're gonna get the reality of the truth. That's what you're getting right here with the Relentless System. That's what you're getting from this podcast. You're getting a reality check, and before you can get a paycheck, most of you people out there, individuals, you need to get a fucking reality check first.
Dude, that's the fucking truth.
Dude, I remember the first time you guys met. It was at 10X.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he saw you. You were in
He recognized me.
Yeah.
I recognized
Yeah.
him.
Well, right. But here's what happened right before that. You were one row ahead of us, and Andy turns to me and he goes, dude, that's Tim fucking Grover. I got to go say hi. And before you knew it, you were, noticing Andy.
Yeah, dude.
Tim, I got a quick practical question in terms of most of your clients, I assume, throughout the years have been athletes. So they have been a specific, basketball players. They've had a specific sport that they may have been able to look at and say, okay, I want to be a cleaner in this sport. Mm-hmm. I do think there's a lot of people out there that they're like, well, I want to be a cleaner, but I'm not exactly sure, like in what. And then they think, well, maybe it's a little overwhelming to think about being a cleaner for my whole life. Would you suggest, like for the people that are contacting you, would you suggest to them just pick some aspect of your life? Because once you become that way in that thing, it'll probably spill out, right?
You have to make listen, you can't be a cleaner in everything. That's just not going to happen. And, we talked about this earlier about the balance. All right, you can't be a cleaner and do this exceptional job, build this great company and not miss any of your kids' events. Listen, you don't want to miss your kids' events. You want to, when they have things, you want to go, you want to show up, you want to do that, you want to be there to support them. But it doesn't happen all the time. All right, you're going to miss stuff. You're going to forget dates. You're going to forget birthdays. You're going to forget anniversaries. Those things happen. But what you have to do is, and this is very important. This is extremely important for people that are living, that are out there. If you want the thing to get balance, in order to get balance, all right, everybody says, you got to find somebody. If you're a certain way, the person that balances you has got to be the complete opposite. No, all right. The way to be successful and the way to build your team. And you know why, Andy, you and I get along so well?
Because we're fucking same.
You are as fucked up as I am.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we get along so well. All right. Because he's as fucked up as I am. So when you're finding that partner or you're finding that individual, find that person that's just as fucked up as you are, and you guys will live a happy, successful, glorious life.
I think that's true too, man. Like, I think it's 100% true. One thing I want to touch on again, like when we're talking about guys who are in a position, most people, if you dig deep enough, you'll find something that they're good at. You'll find something that they've invested themselves in and learn to love and learn to be skilled at. It might be something insignificant to you, but you'll find it. And a big thing that people have to realize if you're listening and you're like, well, I'm not really good at anything. There's something you're good at. You're just not putting value on it that's important. It doesn't have to be important because the habits that you have developed to get good at that one thing are the same habits that you have to develop and apply over here to make you more fucking money. So don't think about it like you don't have skills. You might be good. You might be better than everybody, like Tim said, playing video games. But why are you good at video games? Because you put the fucking time in. You're interested. You're passionate, okay? You're doing the extra shit. You're playing the extra hours. And that sounds silly. But the reality is if you took those same concepts and you applied them over here to your career or your business or your life in any aspect, you're going to become a cleaner at that as well.
You're getting paid. You can get a college scholarship now for esports, for playing video games.
Fuck no. Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yes. You get a college scholarship.
I fucking quit too early.
They got esports teams now in colleges where they give you scholarships. All right, there are all these professional, the guys that own these professional teams, they're buying all these esports leagues now. There's so much money that can be made in that. All right, but it's if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it.
Do it all the way.
Do it all
the way. Go all fucking in, man.
Yeah, go all in.
Yeah. So, a couple housekeeping things, guys. I know, unless there's something wrong with your fucking brain, that you got a ton of value out of this podcast. Guys, please subscribe to the podcast and please leave us a review and please tell a friend. Those are the three things. Subscribe, review, tell a fucking friend, okay? We don't advertise shit. We don't sell you shit. I'm not trying to jam a bunch of shit down your throat. I'm just trying to help you. We're creating a movement here that is designed to reset the way people are thinking in society. We have too much of the rainbows and the puppy dogs and the fucking kisses and hugs and not enough of the fucking truth. And guys, we don't go out and advertise this. We don't market it. This is all word of mouth. So you talking to your friends about it is how we fucking grow and change the mentality. So guys, if you listened, if you loved it, subscribe, review, tell a motherfucker that we're here to help, okay? I love you guys. We support, the support that you provide us is fucking amazing. But we have gotten away from the reviews. We have gotten away from telling a friend, all right? That's how we grow. So if you're living the 100-0 lifestyle, fucking go all in and help us out, man. Do us a solid. We're doing all we can to bring you guys the right kind of guests, the right kind of information to help you succeed. Pay us back.
Tim, what are your social media contacts?
Hey, one thing I want to add on Andy. We talked about the little details matter. All right, those things matter to us. They matter to Andy. They matter to his business. They matter to the content that he wants to bring. He's not asking you to donate. All right, he's not asking you to go somewhere. He's asking you to take 2 minutes out of your day after you listen to the podcast to review it and to tell somebody else. That's it.
Yeah.
It's man. It's simple.
Yeah, and
that's
we're providing the value up front.
And you're providing the value.
So,
he's not
like, dude, if you didn't like the podcast, don't fucking do that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't give value, don't tell anybody. Don't subscribe. Don't review it. But if you honestly did, that's all I'm asking.
That's it.
Yeah.
My website is timgrover.com. Twitter is @AttackAthletics, and same with the Instagram. Okay. All right, listen, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know this was on such short notice.
No, man. And, look, you're always welcome. You're always welcome to come on as a guest. Like, and I don't say that to anybody. So
and you know what?
I love you, bro.
When you say that, I know you mean it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've always listen. If I
could have you as a fucking coach in my ear every day for real, like, and I know I could, but I don't want to bug you.
Right.
But like, dude, that's what I fucking do. You know, if you need somebody like this, like Tim would be my fucking coach. Okay. If you guys listen to this podcast, you listen to what I say, this man would be my coach, all right? And I think that speaks for itself.
And I'll tell you, our relationship, Andy had a while back, obviously, you know, he loves his automobiles, loves his cars. All right, he got this special edition car, and he showed me, I put it on a post, and he showed it to me. And you know what he said? Anytime you want to drive it, just let me know.
Fuck yeah, man.
He said, anytime you want to drive it, just let me know.
Hell yeah.
Right.
That's what success is about, man.
Exactly.
It's about sharing it with your buddies.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people think it's a selfish thing, but really, man, it's way more about doing fun shit with your friends and helping people and making an impact and creating jobs. And, you know, people that think it's about, like, I just want to accumulate all this fucking money. And I guess for some people it might be, but for the most successful people, it's usually about just sharing the cool shit.
It is about sharing the cool shit, but also...
And the cool shit is, like, helping people and all that stuff, too, right?
But here's the thing. Don't get away from trying to help everybody else and forget about yourself. You got to take care of yourself first. The better you take care of yourself, all right, the more you educate yourself, the more valuable you make yourself, the more you can help others. All right, listen, it's in human nature to help others. All right, we're supposed to help. We're supposed to help others. That's what we're taught. That's how we're brought up. That's our instincts to help others. Somebody else shouldn't have to fucking tell you to go help somebody else.
If they do, you're fucked up in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in the wrong way.
The wrong way, exactly.
Well, dude, thanks so much for coming in, man.
My pleasure.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.